Come on in the room. Come on in the room. I'm trying to make the adjustment. Y'all know how I do. Come one, come all. Come what?
Come big, come small.
You not in the shot over here.
Girl, I never am. You know I have to, after I get all my little logistical stuff done, then I'll squeeze in some kind of way.
Okay. Come on, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Sorry guys, hold on.
Look at Sean. She came in church with her phone ringer off, notifications going off and everything.
So funny.
Listen, for those of you guys who have no idea who we are or where you found yourself, I am Candy Sincerity Johnson.
And I am Sean Johnson.
And together we do a whole lot of things. But the most important thing in this season that you should always remember is we are the self-published authors of an amazing series, an amazing book series. Moments of Redemption, Moments of Resurrection is, buzzing in the streets, girl. That's what everybody is talking about. And so when you see us sitting here at this table, we're having conversations about life, about love, about all things, and usually some or all parts of the conversation tie into our own moments of redemption and moments of resurrection.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just started talking. Did you say who you were?
Yes, I did. I said I was Sean Johnson.
Sean Johnson. Did you want to add anything, Sean Johnson?
Not that I can think of.
Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for all of the love. I tell y'all all the time, it feels so good when we push the button and we start to get love. It feels so good.
Cause girl, if don't nobody else want you, shoot, what's the point?
Hey, Miss LaShawn. Miss LaShawn, she said, I see the dynamic duo is back, Lord. Yes. Listen, what did you title the video, girl?
Shirley Strawberry, apology to Steve Harvey, honey.
Ooh.
Yeah, girl, we gotta talk, honey. We got to talk.
Listen, they out here in these streets giving them something to talk about. Huh? Let's give them something to talk about.
Yes.
They giving us something to talk about.
Yes.
Listen, what is going on? She is trending right now. He is trending right now, girl. What happened?
So a lot is going on. It's so much going on that I didn't even get a chance to really even dive into the Steve Harvey part of it, because Steve and his wife has been going through some trials and tribulations, and it was so much with Shirley and her estranged husband that I didn't even get a chance to even look into what's going on with him. But they've been messing with Steve and Marjorie for a long time. Like when I say they be messing with them for a long time, like they just keep messing with them. So needless to say, give me just a second. I'm just trying to get this last little piece of information over here. Okay, there we go.
Best friend Deborah said, did you hear call number 10? It was just released. She said, girl, this man.
No, we didn't get a chance to hear that one.
That's the one that was live. Remember when I pulled it up, it was live, girl. We ain't get a chance to hear them.
Going.
That lady is, whoever running that channel over there, girl, she's dripping it out.
When I tell you she's running up a bag,
girl, she's rationing it out, girl.
And she's running up a bag, okay? That's exactly what's happening. Okay,
yes.
So, you know what I typically do, if you have ever been with us when we have addressed trending topics, you know I'm the person to bring you the details in the background and the synopsis before we really dive into it, and then Candy blesses us with the word, okay? So, let me just tell you, let me give you some background information before we even talk about the cause, because I got, y'all know I always come with my copious notes, okay?
Your what?
So, my copious notes.
How is that spelled exactly?
COPIOUS, I believe. Somebody spell check me. All right, so that's what we're going to do.
Sherry said, Steve said they're good.
Yeah. So I actually, like I told you guys yesterday, I actually got a chance to listen to the Steve Harvey Morning Show yesterday when everything was actually playing out. Obviously, I hadn't listened to the calls yet, but I actually got a chance to hear Shirley tell her story, Steve respond to her, and, they were loving on her and everything like that. Heard him, Tommy, Carla, and Junior was all like, look, we family. So that's what it is. Okay? What you got to say? When you start looking over them glasses, you got something to say.
Best friend Sherry said, Steve said they good. And for the past year, I was telling y'all me and Sean was good. Huh? And for the past year, if you recollect, if you recall, for the past year, Sean and I were saying we were good until you found out we weren't.
Yikes.
Okay?
Could there be some PR work going into play? Could be. Okay? There could be some PR work.
Best friend said, oop.
Ooh. Oh. They said on multiple platforms.
You see what I'm saying?
Ooh.
I'm just telling y'all how this thing go. That's why when we said we was gonna unpack this thing at the table on tonight, that's why I told y'all. Best friend LaShawn said messy boots candy. No, I'm just stating facts.
You know, Candy always got them boots on her.
I'm just stating facts because I'm just telling y'all what happens, right?
Right.
When people have a vested interest in the same thing, because two people can be on opposite ends of the spectrum in a relationship, but when they have a vested interest in something, like that bag that Marjorie and Steve are gathering, you understand what I'm saying? We might disagree, but we will be in agreement. We will be on one accord as it relates to the continuation of said bag. Okay?
That's like if you got a movie or a play going on and the actors and actresses is at odds, they're still gonna get out of that play because that's their coin.
You still gonna do that kissing scene before the curtain close, okay?
Because you got your coins to make. All right? So, just saying. All right, so let's get into a little bit of background information. So, for those that may not know what's going on, because perhaps you've been under a rock, I don't know. Shirley Strawberry and her estranged husband, Ernesto Williams, they've been married for 8 years, but within the last year, he has been incarcerated, okay, in Fulton County Jail for a number of charges. The charges that I found, I wasn't able to get too in depth, but the charges that I found, some of them I may not be able to say outright because we are on platforms. Theft, fraud, something dealing with children that's not appropriate. Okay, you pick up what I'm putting down, and then possession of arms. Okay, all right. So you can piece that together. So those are the charges that I found that he is incarcerated for. All right. He did. I don't know if he still does, but he was an entrepreneur. Okay. He owned a business called Ernesto Cuts. All right. It was basically like a barbershop, but upscale. Okay. Everything started at $50. That was the lowest you was going to get, and it went up from there. Okay. So they said they specialize in men's grooming. But yeah, so now he has been dealing with a whole lot of stuff, a whole host of things. Okay. There's been women that's been named that he's been dealing with, okay, outside of his wife. All right. One of them he was brought up on charges in regards to like credit repair scams and things like that. Why are people always scamming people with credit repair? Girl, just stop it.
Because if you got no shade, but if your credit is shot, who you gonna call? Who you gonna tell?
Tis true.
Who you gonna tell?
Tis true. Gwen said his barbershop is closed. I figured, but I didn't want to assume without having no concrete evidence. Okay, but I figured that was the case. And so clearly Shirley has been aware of the infidelity because that was some of the stuff that she claimed that he was, responsible for. And it has been reported that the Erica girl, okay, they had rented a house next door to where Shirley stayed.
Who's Erica? For the people who don't know, who's Erica?
So Erica is the young lady who was also involved with the credit repair scam.
Okay. So she was allegedly the business partner?
Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
All right. So this is what's been going on. So in the midst of all this, so that's the background. So that's how we got to him being in jail and stuff like that, and the calls even being able to be leaked because of all of this stuff that's going on. Now keep in mind, this man has a record. This ain't like he just got into midst of trouble. So before he even met Shirley, he had been into some trouble, which if you listen to some of the calls, she makes mention to that. Like, oh, they just can't let it go. You have changed your life and so on and so forth. Clearly not, okay? Clearly not. And so these calls between her and him have been leaked. Well, actually calls between her and him and the girl, him and another girl from Florida, him and his brother, him and his, like a whole host of calls, okay, have come out. And because of that, this is how it all got with Steve Harvey and her having to apologize, because during a couple of the calls, she was talking to Ernesto about Steve and Marjorie. I said, oh, now, okay? Now, if anybody has ever had to talk to somebody that's been incarcerated, these calls are always recorded. Always. all the ways, okay? So whether you feel like somebody is listening or not, they're all recorded. So you should always be mindful of what you're saying, period. Whether they get leaked or not, okay? Period.
Is leaked the same thing as sold? I have a question. Is leaked the same thing as sold?
That point. I don't know. I don't know, because if it's sold, it's not really leaked. It was given. Like, you handed it over.
Okay. So where you want to start?
I don't know, girl. We can start wherever you want to start. I mean,
Where do y'all want to start? Where do you want to start?
Just the stuff that I heard in these calls, the stuff with her daughter, which is unfortunate, the stuff with the Erica girl, the stuff with the girl from Florida, Shirley's truck being taken from her while she at the beauty shop. I mean,
That's right there. That's enough right there.
so
That's
much.
enough. That's enough. That's enough.
It's so much.
I wish I had a whistle. I wish I had a whistle. Woo! I wish I had a whistle. Let me tell y'all. Whew, let me compose myself. Let me
First
tell
of
y'all.
all, we gonna pray for Shirley, because honey, when I tell you that I commend her strength, because the stuff that she's been having to deal with this man.
She brought it upon herself. I had to say it. She brought it upon herself. I got time tonight.
Oh.
She brought it upon herself. Many women do that.
Oh,
We're all guilty of doing it.
yikes.
We're all guilty of doing it. You see what I'm saying? She brought a lot of this on herself. How did she bring it upon herself, Candy, you might ask?
Please say.
Thank you for asking.
Yes.
Thank you for asking. You want to know how she brought it upon herself? Because I need somebody in the comments to type this out. This is a word on tonight. What you allow is what will continue. Huh? I need you to say it for the people in the back who didn't pay for the good seats. They came a little late. I need ladies all over the world to know and understand that we can't continue to play victim if we know and understand how the game is played. You understand what I'm saying? What you allow, is what will continue. She said on one of those calls, she said, this has been my husband for over 8 years. This has been my husband for over 8 years. A lot of what is falling out the bag and is new for us, the evidence and the writing on the wall has been there all the time for her. You understand what I'm saying? She was covering up mess, and it was so evident that she was covering up mess for years and tolerating stuff from him for years. And so now comes the day where the pot done brewed. You understand what I'm saying? The water been brewing on the stove, on the pot. Now the lid done fell off and the bubbles are spilling over. Ain't that how y'all cook rice? You understand what I'm saying? Something like that. And so now comes the day where the private matter has now become public. You see what I'm saying? She's been dealing with this nonsense all along. And like many of us, we're all guilty of doing it. I told y'all on the video that Sean and I did earlier, I said, I feel like, and again, this is not a spiritual video, but let me get on the soapbox for a minute. I feel like in this season, God is putting the same storyline in front of us, in front of the public, the masses. The same storyline of couples dealing with tremendous levels of embarrassment. Because there's so many different things behind the scenes and people not doing the work that now it's starting to spill over into public. You see what I'm saying? And we keep seeing the same storyline play out. It happened with us.
Yep.
It happened with
now will continue.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to Sean as we talking to y'all and we talking about Shirley. What you allow is what will continue. Where them 2 books at, girl? Where them 2 books at?
Honey, listen. When we say what you allow will continue.
What you allow will continue. Somebody
Think
say
about what we allow and what we
what
continue.
you allow. What you allow will continue. Then by the time it get here, it's August. That's the pot brewing. You understand what I'm saying? That's the pot brewing. It's to the point where now my character is being assassinated because I can't take no more. You understand what I'm saying? I've reached my boiling point, my capacity, my lid has spilled over. And I'm not selling anything. If you never buy either one of these, what you can't refute is the fact that I'm preaching a sermon right now.
Yes, indeed. And I'm taking notes.
What you allow. This is not, and I tell y'all all the time. You see, God did not put us in a position to be on public display for embarrassment, for the world to critique, for people to throw fruit at me, for strangers to criticize me that I've never met in my life. No, baby. This is God saying, but for God, there go I. You understand what I'm saying? This is your but for God, there go I moment. If you want your marriage to work, and you and your boo are doing well, y'all need to be having some discussions about what happened so it don't happen to you. You understand what I'm saying? If you sitting there and you single and you've been praying for somebody to come your way, you looking for the right man, you looking for the right woman, you need to be reading this, having them conversations with yourself saying, okay, well, when I start dating and I start to see these signs, I'm going to either ask deeper questions, I'm going to invest in counseling or therapy, or I'm going to run the other way, because what's not going to happen?
Facts.
What's not going to happen?
Stop having those real surface level conversations and start having real conversations with your partner, with your mate, with the person you're thinking about dating, etc. Start digging deep and trying to figure out, okay, how do you truly feel? And don't sugarcoat nothing for me.
I'm telling y'all, there's always warning before destruction. There's always warning before destruction. Shirley Strawberry, there's always warning before destruction. God would be an unjust God if he just came and destroyed. You understand what I'm saying? He always gives us an opportunity to course correct. But it's the ignoring all of the signs that we end up paying for. It's the ignoring all of the signs. I never once sat in the seat of saying, hey, I'm right and Sean's wrong. Just because my accountability looked different than Sean's does never make it seem like she took more responsibility for her actions than I did mine. It just looked different. It looked different. It looked different. But I'm telling y'all, we keep seeing these storylines play out. We seeing it with people who got money. We seeing it with people who got influence. We seeing all of these different examples, real life examples of not only families falling apart, but let's be clear, Black families are falling apart at the seams. We got to take note and we got to learn from it, y'all.
We do.
We got to learn from it.
And you have to understand the level of devastation and destruction that this man has caused to this woman's life.
That part.
She has lost her home, her vehicle, her wedding ring, almost her mind. Don't that sound like somebody to you? Because of the devastation and the destruction that somebody caused to a person that they didn't ask for, they didn't wish for, they didn't pray for, or nothing like that, because of decisions that that person made and just wreaked havoc upon somebody's life. And the fallout, the daughter, the grandchildren, the families, etc., etc. And all he can do is say, wow.
But see, I won't let you take that. I won't let you take that. See, Sean is saying, yeah, she caused that for me. But again, what did I say to Shirley? If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. What I allowed will continue. Same thing with Sean, right? Same thing with Sean. What she allowed will continue. That's how we got here. That's how we got here. And I tell y'all all the time, the books are what happened. This is your what. What led people to almost 20 years of relationship decide to go their opposite way? That's where you find this. The what happened. How we feel. How we feel. That's where you find the table talk. That's where you find the discussions. That's where you find the discussions. We could talk about how we feel and Shirley Strawberry, but Shirley has to get to the point where sis gonna have to get in therapy like we did. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying?
I'm sure she is. I pray that she's already in therapy, but she's gonna have to have it to recover from this.
She's got to. She's got to. Because she can talk about how she feel all day, Because that's what that apology was filled with. How I feel, how she feel, and what her mindset was when she did and said certain things on those recorded calls. She got to unpack what happened.
She does. And she's got to feel every piece of it, every embarrassment, every piece of anger, every piece of disappointment, every piece of self-doubt, like everything. She's got to deal with it, feel it, and figure out why she allowed it to happen. Why did you allow it to happen?
Why?
You have to figure out, when we say what you allow will continue, in order for you to stop allowing it, you got to figure out, why did you allow it in the first place? Why? It probably doesn't even have anything to do with her estranged husband.
Yeah.
But she's got to figure out the why so it doesn't happen again.
There's generational, I feel it in my spirit, there's generational curses that have to now be broken. If she didn't create it, she passed it along. There's generational curses that now have to be broken. If you listen to those calls, there was a clearly defined boundary that her daughter has set. You understand what I'm saying? And she made a decision. Whether she verbally made a decision or her actions did. She made a decision and she put that man before her child and her grandchildren. She fell out with her child over him. And she chose a side. She chose a side.
She's got to repair that.
She's got to repair that. But she got to do the self-work before she can even entertain anything with her daughter. That's deep.
I had to learn that part. I was so busy trying to repair relationships and repair connections to other people before I even got myself together. How am I trying to fix something with somebody else and I'm still broken? Girl, fix yourself. Yeah. Before you try to go over there and try to figure out why this connection with this person ain't working, or why this relationship ain't first of all, is it even salvageable? Is it worth the time? Any of that. You gotta fix yourself first. She's gotta fix herself first before she even walks a second to her daughter to try to repair anything.
That part.
Let me see what they're saying over in the YT. 2 women and a breakup are correct. What you allow will continue.
Yes, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We've experienced it. We've experienced it. What's everybody else saying?
Let's see. One best friend said, I wish I knew who you was talking about. Shirley Strawberry, my love. Candy said she wanted to be married.
She did. But see, Candy, we see the same scenario play out all the time. You know, how many people do you know? How many people do you know where the woman started out in her 30s? She want to be married. He got to be 6'1", tall, dark, and handsome.
All these.
He got to make 6 figures. He got to have beautiful teeth, excellent credit, no children, this, that, and the third. Same woman still single in her 40s. She done skimmed off some of her expectations. Well, he ain't got to make 6 figures. He just got to have a job. You see what I'm saying? Well, he ain't got to, now that we older, he can have, at least, a few kids and a few baby mamas. I'll be okay with that.
Right.
So then by the time you get to your 50s, same woman in her 50s, whatever, same concept. And you like, well, sis, you done went from here to now you willing to take just a man with a pulse and a penis. The only requirements now is a pulse and a penis.
That's it, that's all.
We see it play out all the time, though.
Or we see the other end of the spectrum where they be like, you know what, I'm good. I don't want nobody, leave me alone.
I've seen that happen too.
I've seen it happen in my family.
I've seen it, yeah. Girl, they said,
I have two situations of that in my family right this moment.
Well, they be like, girl, as long as I got batteries.
On each end of the spectrum. One is like, as long as you got a penis and a pulse, I'm good. And one of them is like, I don't care and don't talk to me. I'm fine by myself.
Who is penis and pulse?
Girl, you know.
That's a t-shirt idea. Y'all better not take my shirt idea.
Right. Girl, you know.
I know.
Girl, you know.
I know penis and pulse.
You sure do.
Father God. But yeah, I don't know.
So One of the best friends was, in so many words, was like, I don't even think she really said anything wrong. I agree with you. To be perfectly honest, it wasn't like she was on there bashing Steve Harvey. She wasn't bashing. She just gave her honest thoughts and what the day consisted of. She said the man went upstairs and he was winded. He probably was. He even admitted to it on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. He was like, yeah, I was bigger back then. I probably was wheezing. But now, I'm getting my life together. And she said Marjorie felt like, or treated them like the help. I don't know whether it's true or not. Allegedly, that's what she has said. Marjorie does seem very highfalutin. That's just what it is. I don't know this woman from a hole in the wall. She don't know me from a can of paint. But I'm just saying, just from the image that is portrayed, I could probably see that to be the case. Okay? So I don't know. But you're right. I don't think she said anything that was terrible. But you also probably say stuff that you probably wouldn't say in their faces either. And that's where the issue comes in.
I have follow-up questions.
Oh, what's the follow-up questions?
My follow-up question, and this is what I want to hear from everybody. Number one, what do you think Marjorie's response is to the apology? What do you think Marjorie's response is to the apology? Because listen, I don't care what nobody say. You can look at Marjorie and tell, girl, she's a mess. Girl. Listen, get her on the phone. Somebody tag Marjorie and tell Marjorie to come over here on the live. Tell her she's
come talk to the best friend, Marjorie.
Tell Marjorie to come talk to the best friends. Marjorie, look. I don't work for the Steve Harvey Show. I just tell you, girl, you look like you a mess. I'm telling you, not like she physically looks a mess, because she's a beautiful woman.
Oh yeah,
she's just
gorgeous.
She just look like, but she
don't take for none.
Girl, she give off these vibes. The vibes she give off, even through the phone, girl.
It's the these vibes.
She just read like anybody who is coming between her and a nasty coin is an interruption in her piece. If you are not either a part of the help, which will be her masseuse, her driver, her butler, her chiropractor, girl, her man, her posting penis, they go out and get the bag and bring the bag back to her, okay? If you are not a part of her team, we'll call it her team. If you are not a part of her team, you are an interruption in her piece.
Right.
If you are not a part of her team, you are an interruption in her piece. That's what Marjorie is giving. And I listen, and like they say, I'll add to it before I take from.
Right. Facts. Even best friend Diane said the diva's sipping and shopping. She don't care.
She don't, girl. And let's be blatantly honest. She put that same aura in her daughter. What we talk about, generational stuff.
Yeah.
Generational stuff. She passed that seed down, that mindset that a man is designed to take care of her and improve her quality of life.
That part.
Baby.
Girl.
Listen.
Marjorie probably told Steve, I don't care what you gotta do. You better spin this thing around and make it into a coin.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell y'all how I see it. I see the situation went viral, right? People started talking. Tapes got leaked. And just like she said, Steve had called her. Remember on that one call we heard where she was talking to Ernesto? First off, why is his name Ernesto?
And why does he sound like he's 95?
I don't like his name.
I don't like his voice.
We're going to call him Ernie.
That Bert and Ernie.
We're going to call him Ernie. But no, so when she was talking to him, right, when Shirley was talking to him, remember she said something like, what was I going to say? She said something like, Steve, what did she say? She was talking, I lost my train of thought. She said something about
was she talking about the truck and stuff?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it was that conversation. Thank you. So she was saying something about the truck and this was going on and that was going on. And you could tell by the conversation that Steve was having with her that he was trying to put her back on track to clean the situation up.
He was basically like, you're too old to lose everything that you've worked for. And
right.
You need to basically, in so many words, take care of yourself. Start over and take care of yourself. He said, learn everything you need to learn and do what you need to do.
And it was that gentle reminder of, by the way, remember your contract says X, Y, and Z, right? So it was that gentle nudge, like, I need you to move a certain kind of way to clean this mess up and do damage control. But she's so emotional, and she's so emotionally invested in the relationship with Ernie. We're gonna call him Ernie. With Ernie, you know, that she couldn't see the forest for the trees. So in my mind, what I think happened, I think they sat down and had a conversation. And he said, look, and the producers of the show probably said, look, we sitting at the table. This is what's going on. We got to spin this thing. So we're going to leverage the Strawberry Letter segment as your way to address the elephant in the room. That's a PR move. That's a PR move. You have to address the elephant in the room. And if you notice, what did you hear inside of the Strawberry Letter and her apology? What components did you hear? Let me see if you heard what I heard.
It must have went over my head.
She acknowledged what she did. She apologized to all parties. She pretty much took away what they call it in marketing is it's almost like you disarm the enemy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything that the critics would have said or done or used against her, she pretty much took all of the things that they could have said and she addressed everything. One of the things that the best friends were saying about me, remember in the beginning when we first announced our breakup, is it seemed like Sean taking all the credit for what happened. Candy ain't sorry at all. So she did all of that. She led with all of that. You see what I'm saying? And so for me, it seemed like it was something that they all planned to do. You didn't get that vibe?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Thea said she took her power back.
I feel like it was scripted. I feel like at the end, she spoke from her heart.
I'm sure there was some. I'm sure there was a PR element. I mean, all celebrities and stuff like that have a PR element. That's what they get paid to do. You get paid to fix stuff. Okay, you the Olivia Pope in our lives. You fix the stuff when it goes wrong. So I'm sure there was a PR element, but I don't know if it was necessarily scripted per se. Guided, I would say guided more so than scripted.
What's the difference?
So scripted is you don't really mean anything in what you're saying, but this is what you need to say in order to fix it. Guided is I'm a bumbling mess and I'm emotional and I don't really know what to say. I know I need to say something, but I need help so that I don't get out here and mess up stuff.
Stephanie says she wants to keep her job. Oh, no doubt about it. She has to keep her job. She's got to keep her job. But I believe it was scripted. It was planned by all parties. The show. Steve, I believe everybody sat down and said, "This is our only play. This is our only play to do damage control." That's what I believe happened. But I do believe she spoke from her heart at the end. Yeah. You could tell that that's genuinely how she felt. I do believe that. I totally believe that. Yeah.
Stephanie said definitely planned. Shireen said her words were chose wisely. Now you do know that it was planned because how would it not be planned if they announced it last week? They were advertising this Strawberry Letter last week.
Yeah.
Because they were like, because I kept hearing them talk about it, and that's why I was like, oh, I gotta make sure I listen to the Steve Harvey Morning Show on Monday. Because it was like, yeah, they were promoting it. Like, hey, you know.
So there's also this thing in marketing where a lot of people are from the school of thought that think all publicity is good publicity. Y'all ever heard that? All publicity is good publicity. And so there are specialists out there, PR specialists, that specialize in taking those negative things that happen, like this event, and spinning it on its head. So that's another thing that I know for a fact that it was definitely planned. And like you said, that they definitely promoted it. But I do believe something is going to come from this. I don't know what they could sell or what they could offer, but something is going to come from this.
It should definitely on her end.
Something is going to come from
it. It should definitely from her end.
But it's going to definitely give them another crossover audience, though, I believe. I definitely believe it's going to reignite their show. Not to say that they needed it, because they've always had a very large fan base. But just like every other show, you know, you have your core audience. but it's getting them out there with people who have probably either stopped watching the show or listening to the show, or maybe just didn't at all for different reasons, because people don't listen to the radio like they used to.
Right.
And I had stopped listening to them a couple years ago, but I bet you I tuned in again, and I'm gonna be listening again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alexa says the info came out and people were asking why haven't they talked about this.
Yeah.
Because they kept saying that they hadn't addressed it in a long time. Let me see. Darlene said if not damage control, a lot more would have come out.
What'd you skip over?
It's always, we always get this anytime we address topics like this.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, I got time.
So best friend Barbara, because we call you best friend regardless. Best friend Barbara said, "This is sad. Let them take care of this their way and stop reading too much into it. Support each other when we go through things. Leave them people alone." So,
what you got?
Addressing something doesn't mean that you are not supporting them. We said clearly that we need to pray for Shirley and that we pray that everything works out. We've said that. But we're also talking about the business aspects of what has happened and the lessons that can be learned from this and the parallels that we see based off of our situation and theirs. So, Ms. Barbara, we have shared quite a bit of our own business and we're just seeing some parallels here. And so we're talking about it. Because again, they're like Candy said, things keep being put out in the public and with celebrities, us, all these people, of situations that have occurred where marriages and relationships and things are being broken apart and torn down for various reasons. And it's a way for people to learn to figure out, okay, before mine gets broken down, let me see if I can learn from the situation that somebody else is going through.
Yeah. Well, here's what I got. Buckle up, Buttercup. You're in for a ride, okay? Here's what I got. I find it interesting. What?
No, go ahead. I want to hear.
Best friends, this is a teaching moment. I find it interesting that the people who are trying to make a point do so at the expense of the very thing that they're trying to correct you for doing. Right? So best friend said, because I don't want to misquote.
Let me go back. Okay, let me go back.
Best friend said, can you read the last part?
Support each other when we go through things and leave them people alone.
Leave me alone. You see what I'm saying? Leave me alone. You coming over here judging, and it sounds like based on your statement, this may be your first video or you may be new to us. Because anybody who's been a part of the community, who's a best friend, you've been here before, you know that we take trending topics and like Sean said, this is not a gossip channel. We don't do that, right? This is a trending topic. This is a couple, or this is a group of people that we all know and we've all followed. And so there's a lot of opportunities for us to learn. But the very thing that you're accusing me of doing, which is being messy, talking about somebody else's business, all that, and telling people, whatever, that's the very thing that you're doing to me. You're doing it to me. And so we got to stop doing that to one another. We could always see what other folks doing, but we can't never see what we doing. And so that's just my point. The very thing that you accusing me of doing is exactly what you sitting there doing. I'm just saying.
It's true.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
We got to do better. Because it's always us. Why is it always us? It's always us, y'all. It's always us. Anyway.
D said, speak, Candy. Let me see. Oh, I didn't know that either. Eliza said, well, I'm today years old. Did not know Daryl was her first husband because
who
one of the best
Daryl?
friends said that. Let me find it. Gwen said no, he wasn't. She was married to Daryl Strawberry, the ex-pro baseball player. Who, Shirley or Marjorie?
Shirley. That's her name being Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Oh, for real? No, Google that. Is that for real?
Let's fact check.
Is that for real?
Let me see. Let me fact check.
Let me find out. I just thought she just created that as like a stage name. Is she? Or was she, rather?
No, I don't think so. Because one of the things says, are Shirley Strawberry and Daryl Strawberry related? It says they work in their respective fields. They may know each other based on their professions or have met through their work circle. So I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you could type in Shirley Strawberry first husband.
Let's see. Oh, look, somebody look for it. Jimmy.
No, his name is Jimmy, girl.
His name was Jimmy.
Jimmy. Girl, you could tell, listen, you could tell by these names they in a different age group.
Yes.
Who are the characters in the play? Glad you asked. Ernesto, girl. Shirley.
Yeah, so I don't know what the connection
Jimmy.
is, but she definitely wasn't married to him. Her first husband's name was Jimmy.
Jimmy.
So there you have it. So I don't know what that and Daryl could be.
And my thing is, and I was surprised. I'll say this. I was surprised. And again, this is not from the seat of judgment. I just was surprised. When I heard Ernesto speak on those calls, the first thing that I thought was, he's not well spoken. He's not well spoken. I would have expected a Shirley Strawberry, as much advice, girl, because she be giving some advice.
She does.
As much advice as she be having for the people down there at the Strawberry Letter Department. She be giving some real good advice with the Strawberry Letter. So as much advice as she be giving, to me, I would have thought that she would have been drawn to a more quality man than Ernesto. Ernesto is giving Uncle Earl vibes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have an Uncle Earl, but in my mind, best friends, Uncle Earl is like that friend of your daddy's that come by the house and he always got a 40 ounce in a brown paper bag and he always want to sit outside in the car with your daddy and talk trash, right? But he don't have no 9 to 5. He just fix cars out of his garage while his old lady at work. Ernesto is giving Uncle Earl vibes.
That's what he's giving.
Yeah, he is. He is. He giving Uncle Earl vibes.
Hilarious.
And then you bring your girlfriend over and then she be like, who is that girl? That's my Uncle Earl. That's not my real uncle, but that's my daddy friend. That's my daddy friend. That's my daddy friend, girl. But he kind of creepy, girl. He used to try to talk to me when I was little.
He kind of creepy.
Girl, he kind of creepy, girl. He used to try to talk to me when I was little.
Coco said maybe she was drawn to him because he's a bad boy. Could be. She could be.
Yeah. But he was giving, even on the phone call that was leaked with him and the lady, and he was like, send me some pictures of them pretty titties. He was like, send me some pictures of them pretty titties, and I love to know I was the first one to get them pretty titties. And she was like, oh yeah, money well spent. Girl, I hollered. I said, come on, Shirley. This was the best you could do.
Right. Because you could tell that she was very much so very spiritual and very, upstanding and all that. And then he come with this mess. But you can see that's why he was dealing with these other chicks on the side. Because Shirley ain't like that at all.
But Shirley is a prime example of what I said. Ladies, you got to be careful. I know and understand the mindset of wanting somebody and being alone, right? I've not been alone for a long time, but I could imagine being alone for a long time because Shirley was single for years, according to her, right? So I could understand that, but you got to be careful with that settling thing. You got to be careful with that settling thing because now she has put herself in a position where now she's much worse off as a result of just allowing herself to just settle versus her just being alone all those years.
Yeah.
She done lost everything.
Has to start over.
She got to start all over. Yeah. And she's an example of what we were trying to teach here at the table weeks ago. She stayed too long and it went too far.
Yeah.
You can stay too long and the situation go too far. And she's a prime example of that. You got to know when to leave.
Yeah.
You have to know when to leave. You got to know when to be done. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
What else you got?
So one of the best friends, because they were saying that his real name is actually Ernest, and then he changed it.
Girl,
Ernest sounds right.
Ernest ain't no better than Ernesto.
Ernesto
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Like it up, but Ernest, yeah, that sounds like about right.
Girl, Augusto, Ernesto, Shirley, Jimmy. Listen, I was born in 83. And I don't mean no disrespect to nobody named Shirley, Ernesto, Ernest, or Jimmy. Okay?
My daddy's nickname was Jimmy.
Okay? I don't mean no disrespect to any of the above. I'm just trying to draw the parallel. That when I came along in 1983, people had stopped using them names on birth certificates. They wasn't even allowing it. You go down to the birth certificate office and you try to fill out your paperwork. Them people would have said, Mother, Mary, okay? Father, Paul. Daughter, Shirley. Application declined. You got to change this name. The last name can stay, but you got to change this name. You know, people
that name has expired.
Girl, that name has expired. We reached capacity. We reached capacity on our Shirley quota in 1963. 1963 was the last year that we weren't allowing Shirleys no more after 1963. Ernesto? Application says African American. Application says African American. Girl, I can play all day and twice on Sunday, girl. Try Jesus, not me. Ernesto is an old Negro name or somebody with a long rap sheet. That's what it's giving. It's giving long rap sheets. This is another example of the writing been on the wall. Okay?
Oh Lord.
This is the platform where we say what you think.
Yes.
We say all of the things that you were thinking. Okay?
It is.
Girl.
It is what it is.
He sounds like an ex-con. That's an ex-con vibe.
Well, yeah.
I would have been doing further digging if my mama came home with a man talking about his name was Ernesto. No, mama, that ain't his real name. His mama that was born in Mississippi.
Did not call him that.
In Tuvalu, Mississippi, his mama did not name him Ernesto. So now I need you, mama, to go get his social security number because now I got to do some further research.
I need to figure out the truth.
I got to get to the bottom of things. He's got something to hide. Okay?
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
But that's it. So hopefully you guys learned some stuff from this, honey. Like I said, we drew some parallels. We saw some similarities between what we have experienced and what they are experiencing. And yeah.
One other question before we go. I need to hear from all the best friends. Do y'all think she gonna get fired?
Nope. I know you didn't ask me, but nope.
I did.
I don't think so.
Do y'all think she gonna get fired? How is this gonna end? Do you think she really done with him, or you think she just done on paper?
Who, with her husband? Oh yeah, she's done. I feel like she's done. So Miss Barbara, you can find the calls. We found them on a channel. I can't say where, but you follow what I'm saying. On a channel called Phone Calls from Prison. Okay, it's a page, and they have all parts. It's one of the best friends said that part. Well, you noticed it too. That part 10 is being released today. So that's where you can find them. They said she will keep the job, but still will communicate with him. They said she filed for divorce.
But he pretty much said to do that.
Yeah.
You know, in a roundabout way, he had pretty much advised her to.
Now, neighbor has a good point. She said, nope, she knows too much of Steve's business to get fired. Now you're thinking.
Hi, neighbor.
Now you're thinking. Okay. Velma said, no, I don't think she's done. I hope she would be. That's another point. Diane. Firing her would make Steve seem like Will Smith. Yeah, it would. People would look at Steve like, dang, you kicking her there while she down?
You think so? Or do you think it would be considered retaliation?
Oh, see, look, Darnice just said. She said, couldn't she sue if she gets fired for retaliation?
See, this is what I love about the best friends.
Trick bag.
We think. This is a platform where we think. We explore all possibilities. And that's why I said I already know it was a well thought out plan.
Yeah.
It was a well thought out plan.
See, that's another point. That's a good point that Candy just said that probably went over some people's head. We don't judge people over here. We force you to think in a different perspective. We give you different things, so different ways to look at situations. It's not judgment. We just look at things in a different way.
Absolutely.
That's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you mature. It's by looking at things from different perspectives. Belinda says she's divorcing him and it's in the works. Chanel said yes, you can sue for that reason.
But some people now hear me and hear me good. In my opinion, this is just my humble opinion. In my opinion, you guys remember when the George Floyd case happened, and you remember Officer the one that did it, something with a CH, something, the man that did it, right? Remember George Floyd?
Yeah.
Chauvin or something, whatever the man's name is, he's irrelevant, right? But remember, shortly after that man was arrested for committing that crime against George Floyd, his wife filed for divorce. I think sometimes that's a move, a strategic move, not necessarily for people to not be together, but to do several things, right? It's to separate assets. Or separate the obligation, right?
Yeah.
So when you got somebody, and oftentimes attorneys will recommend that this happens, when you have somebody who's on a sinking ship, right? So Ernesto, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because Ernesto is on a sinking ship. All of her assets were being seized, everything that she owned was being seized. The only way to stop the bleeding is for you to legally separate yourself from them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you continue to be legally responsible for their debt, and they continue to be legally responsible for your debt. That's how you maintain your assets. So, one of the things, and again, this is why we tell you, Miss Barbara, this is a teaching platform, okay?
Absolutely.
One of the things that we seen that quickly happened right after the George Floyd case, as soon as that man was arrested, within probably days or weeks later, that wife was filing for divorce. That's not to suggest, now it does several things for her with the George Floyd case. It separates her from his actions. And so remember, people were showing up to their house, people were harassing her, people were harassing her children, a host of things. Then you got the financial fallout. You see what I'm saying? So it did several things for her. Now she can sit back and say, I'm a victim too. I had no idea he was like this. I don't want to be with him either. So it almost takes a public stance. You see what I'm saying? But privately, oftentimes these people still be together. These people still be together.
Yeah.
That's a public, whatever. I mean, hell, Sean and I got a divorce and was right back together. Y'all seen it, huh?
What
do we think?
Was right back together within months.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't do it. We didn't do it
on purpose, though.
We didn't do it for that reason. But things are not always what they seem, right? Because when we would file, tax returns, or we had to fill out legal papers, they would be like, check your marital status. Divorce, girl. Because we technically were at the time. But then we would still come home, together. Stay with the story. we were still coming home together. You see what I'm saying? Because we had reconciled behind closed doors in that season. Right. That's the point that I'm making. Right? That's the point that I'm making, best friends. So I said all that to say we don't know what these people got going on. And the way how he had her wrapped around his finger. And in one of those calls, we heard him pretty much advising her, do what you got to do. separate from me, move on, do this, do that. Because in his mind, he like, if I'm gonna ever get out, I need you to rebuild what you got so I have somewhere to come home to.
A safe place to land, honey.
Because baby, if you sleeping on somebody else's couch,
Where I'm gonna go?
huh? In so many words, Ernie was saying, save yourself, save your job, make it right with Steve.
Well,
Let me tell you about a hustler. Let me tell you about a con man. Because they're referring to him as a hustler and a con man. They play chess, not checkers. You understand what I'm saying? While she's sitting here in her feelings, he already thinking 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. He thinking, well, what if I'm locked up longer than I expect to be? What if I get out? What if this? What if that? He's already setting up his plays. And he's not putting all his eggs in one basket, thus him having the other chick. And telling her, yeah, and telling them what they need to hear. He's sitting behind bars playing chess. Checkmate. No.
wowie.
But anyway, y'all get in this virtual event.
Oh yeah! Shout out to everybody who has been already getting their access to the virtual event. We cannot wait to see you guys on October 7th and 8th. We've had some best friends that was like, girl, I need everything. I need both books. I need to be at the virtual event. I need everything. Okay. So shout out to everybody who has already secured their spots. Definitely inbox the page. I pinned the information below so you know the 3 options. And we can't wait to do this all over again, honey, on October 7th and 8th. We're going to have a fun, good time.
Baby, if you're new to the page, like and follow. As we always say, what?
Buckle up, Buttercup. You're in for a ride.
You gotta say it for real now.
No, you gotta say it. That's your thing.
Buckle up, Buttercup. You're in for a ride.
See, I don't do it justice. That's why you have to say it. So there you go. But yeah, if you're new to the page and you're trying to figure out what our relationship to one another is and all of the things, yeah, just go back and watch a few videos. You'll figure it out. But it's quite the story. If you thought the Shirley Strawberry story was something,
Girl, them people ain't got nothing on us. She ain't seen public embarrassment, okay?
at all. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that. All right.
But you guys have an amazing night. We love you guys. Make sure your notifications are on because as this story unravels, develops, we may continue to talk about this. Y'all gonna hear more about us. You don't want to miss a beat.
You don't.
Well, you don't want to miss a beat. But we always say the absolute best is yet to come. But baby, we got work to do. Have a good night.
Good night.